Welcome to Creator's Light, your podcast for life design and self-leadership inspiration to create again light within you, to connect you with the light around you, and to contribute with your light to the world. My name is Sara. I am a life design and self-leadership coach and your host in this podcast, with the big vision to connect people from all around the world again with their creative potential, as well as connecting you with your own light, accompanying you on your journey to design your life, living your dreams, and to get out of all kind of limitations to become the creator of your life. And totally aligned with my personal vision and intention, I'm starting this year my interviews with inspirational leaders, with a young creator, Renate Müller from Germany, who just choose to move abroad and follow her intuition to be the superhero of her own life. And I'm really excited to share with you this interview because it shows that the obstacles in her very young life turned out to be the biggest opportunity to learn to listen to her heart and intuition, and to walk for and to walk her own authentic path, independent of what others or society taught her to be or to do. And let's talk today with her about how to turn obstacles into the opportunity to become the superhero, the creator of your own life. I am so happy to have today a very special opportunity to speak with a very inspiring young woman, Renate Müller. She's from Germany, but she took the decision to become the creator of her own life, turning herself into the hero of her own life story. And now we're connecting here from Colombia to New Zealand, almost 14 hours of difference. And I'm super happy to welcome you here, Renate. Welcome to Creators Light podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Sara, for this beautiful introduction. I'm so happy to be here.
That is awesome. And I'm really happy that today we have the opportunity, two Germans talking in English with a purpose. Yeah, I mean, we were like, first of all, like seeing, okay, in what kind of language do we do this interview? But we both took the decision to share it with you because we are like, you're New Zealand. Environment. I'm here and I'm very grateful to have this opportunity. One thing I got totally aware of since I'm following you was one sentence which you wrote about yourself, and this is: Renate Sophie Müller, world traveler, yoga teacher, life coach, free spirit, and Reiki practitioner. And I said, wow, this is amazing for such a young age. And the second one was what I totally caught my attention. I believe in a world with unlimited possibilities, pure potentiality, and personal freedom. That this lady I have to meet.
Yeah, thank you, Sara. Thanks so much. I sometimes can't even believe all the things I did, to be honest. Sometimes I'm like forgetting almost like all the milestones and all the successes in my life. Like, it's so easy actually to forget everything you did in your life, really, because sometimes we don't take time to really sit down and focus on, okay, what did I actually created already in my life? You know, what do I'm grateful for. And it's funny really, because sometimes I don't look at my website, and then probably people read it and they're like, wow, she's doing a lot of things.
Exactly. And you have to take us with, maybe you can pick us up. You asked me in your podcast the question, where have you been 10 years ago? And maybe you can pick us up. And one thing I'm really inspired by is your young age. Maybe you can take us with us and share your story.
Yeah, absolutely. So, where should I start? So 10 years ago, I think I think that's probably too young. I was around 13, yeah. um, but I would say that the journey back to myself started with an early age, to be honest. I think I was around 14 or 15, I would say. So back then I was at school. I didn't have many friends. So I felt really alone. I felt really disconnected, really. And also I had to struggle with, my parents were splitting up, and my mom got really, really sick, and we couldn't actually live with my mom anymore. So we had to move to my dad. And so that was a really big change for me in a young age, to adapt into like a new environment, living with my dad. And then I also had to struggle with kind of the normal teenager life at school. And you just wanted to fit in, and you just wanted to be appreciated and loved, really. And so what happened is that I don't know if I was maybe depressed or something like that, but I just remember that I was just like really down, and I was in a victim mode a lot. And what happened was that one day I actually thought about, okay, I don't want to live my life like that. I think I have to go out and do something. I think I have to take action to change something in my life. And that's where everything started. And yet it started like from really early age, because I become aware in one moment I have to take action to, so something changed in my outside world. So what I did then is I had this goal of like, I want to have a lot of friends, right? So I was like, okay, to do that, I go to a lot of clubs. So I went to like a volleyball club. I went to a theater club. I went, I think at that time I went to church, and I had my, I don't know the English word for it, but it's like confirmation, communion, something like this. Anyway, you go there, and so I met a lot of new people, really. And I had the feeling, because I was going out there and I was kind of chasing my goal in a way. I met a lot of lovely people, and I really had a lot of friends suddenly, and I was really like, wow, okay, that's crazy. When you actually go out there, step out of your comfort zone, your whole world suddenly changes. And my confidence changed. And so then I think with 17, I would say, I was again into like a victim mode and kind of depressive state again, although in my outside world I had so many friends. I was always going somewhere to like a party and kind of distracting myself a lot. And I thought that was the answer. I thought, I'm just going to be happy if I'm just busy the whole time, and I'm going to meet them and them and them. But I slowly noticed after a while, okay, no, I actually get burned out by doing always something, and by just meeting up with people the whole time. So I suddenly found this self-improvement website. I think it's called flowfinder.de, and was like a German self-improvement website where they talked about, a lot of self-improvement topics, and it all starts with you and your inner world. And
The
you
Flow
know that.
Congress. What is something like that? Like an online congress?
No, it was just like a website really where they had I think had YouTube videos
Yeah.
on that, and just like they talked about like self-help topics, and was super interesting really. Because I never actually heard of that stuff before.
Yeah.
So there was actually a voice inside of me which really resonated with everything they talked about. And then suddenly I think I changed a little bit my perspectives on life. And then actually after my A levels, I went to New Zealand. And I would say, yeah, I think that's where probably everything changed for me, because I really had to step out of my comfort zone, and I went to the end of the world. I mean, it was with my best friend back then,
And
but
you
still, it
were
was
18 or 19 or
with 18.
with 18? Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like a huge thing for me. I never really traveled before in my life. So I went there, and then actually, in I think the first week or so, I actually had a car accident, and I had to go to hospital. I was unconscious actually. A bus hit us on our rental car, and I couldn't remember anything really. I was just waking up in that hospital, and I was like, I just want to go back home.
Wow.
You know, I just came to New Zealand, but then this accident happened, and I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I don't have my family here, nothing. So, you know, that was a bit hard for me at first, to really adapt to kind of, yeah, living somewhere else without actually all your family members and the people you know. But I had my best friend there, so I was really lucky. So, you know, I just took it slowly for the first couple of weeks, and I slowly got better. And then, you know, I was really, I think, coming back into my own power again, and I was meeting lots of people, and you know, it was incredible 9 months of my life. And then I went back to Germany, and you know, my whole perspective on life changed. Like my whole perspective, let's say maybe on God, and that everything is kind of connected. And when you travel, you kind of expand your whole mind, like to all the possibilities out there. And so I came back to Germany, and I think it was really hard for me to adapt anyway, um, to the German lifestyle and to the mentality. So it was really hard for me.
Yeah.
And but there was this urge inside of me. Oh, I want to travel more. That was just the beginning of it, really. But everyone was like, you know, my family, my friends are like, okay, don't you want to study at some point? And so I was actually applying for social work in Germany at all universities. But the funny thing is, I didn't get accepted at any university. So, you know, life kind of sent me that in a way, because I think my true inner desire wasn't actually to study back then, it was to travel more. And of course, I didn't want to see that, because society doesn't tell you to chase after your dreams, really. And yeah, then you know, funny thing is, a friend of mine was like, what about flight attendant? They travel the whole time and they get paid for it. So I was like, oh my god, yeah, let's apply. So that was like, you know, it was such a spontaneous thing, and I was like, I wasn't even sure what the job really involves. But I was just applying for it. So I was applying for all these flight attendant companies and stuff. And then, yeah, I got accepted to Condor, to like quite a big German airline in Germany. So yeah, I got accepted there, and it was just crazy. I think I didn't really expect that they will accept me. You know, it was like, oh my god, really?
And you were like
So
1920, no? Like something like that, yeah.
yeah, and I was like, oh my god, that's the dream, you know. So you know, I had the beautiful opportunity to travel the world
Yeah.
and getting paid for it. And I mean, that was a really beautiful experience, and I'm super grateful for that. And I made a lot of experience through that. But I also, I think it was in 2018 where I came to realize that's not it. That's not what my soul really desires. And that's what I'm really made for, because I really realized the job is really exhausting. It's really tiring. And I felt really drained and burnt out in a way. I came back home and I just cried,
Yeah.
because I was so overwhelmed by the stress and by all the people. I didn't want to see any people anymore. And yeah, it was crazy, because from the outside you kind of lived a dream. You were like
Oh, yeah.
you know, staying at these beautiful places around the world, and you had the opportunity to live in hotels and stuff. But it was just not the lifestyle what that was meant for me. I think I always had this desire to build something for my own, first of all, and I just knew that there's so much more to life than this, really. So yeah, really wonderful journey began, I think, about like April 2018, I would say, where I took my time to really, yeah, become aware, first of all, okay, I can't do this anymore. I have to be really honest with myself,
Totally.
and I kind of have to get help. So yeah, I got
There's exactly one question I have, and that sorry that I have to interrupt, because I wanted to ask it already for a long time. But when and especially I'm so amazed by your story, because everything what you lived, I lived 10 years later. And I think this is, if I could, I totally understand that life is perfect as it is, but the message to young people, yeah, who are in the beginning of their journey, is to understand, to find their way, to find their way. And when I'm listening to your story, I see especially several, yeah, callings, yeah, you have interpreted, that led you, or that have leaded you, I think, not to be here right now. And what do you think, which have been your, what have been your, the changing points in your life that brought you to this conclusion exactly? What have been these messages you got?
yeah, so I mean, there were a lot of like changing points in my life where kind of life, yeah, kind of puts you in a corner, and then you have to make a decision in a way.
Yeah.
You either make a decision, okay, this time you actually gonna follow what your heart really says to you, or you just keep being stubborn,
Yeah.
keep being blind, and you keep walking against a wall, and there will always something coming back to you which will, you know, pull you back in a way. And I mean, in my life, it was yeah, definitely in my flight attendant job, where when I actually started my long distance flights, I I was so down for some reason. And when I always came back after every long distance flight, I was like, how long do you really want to do this anymore? Like, do you really want to continue this your whole life? And I knew deep inside of me, and I always had quite an connection with my intuition, I would say. So I always could kind of tell, for example, if I could trust myself with that or not. It's the same with that I always kind of knew what kind of people I could trust with or not. And in this time, I just knew, okay, I have to quit this year.
Yes.
I just have to. And I knew it. And the thing was that for some reason, I think I already had really beautiful people in my life who kind of always kind of sent me some signs in a way, or they gave me some advice. For example, I should listen to a podcast from Laura Seiler, for example. And I think that was in end of 2017 where I actually started my long distance flights. And, I was listening to her podcast and I just resonated totally with what she was talking about. And I went really deep with her. And then in April 2018, I made this decision. She had like the Rise Up and Shine University. So it's like a self-development course over 21 days. And I was like so called to do that. I was so deeply called, and I knew I have to do this. And of course my mind was like, oh, it's so much money, and and I don't know, what if it won't help you? But I just thought, let's just try it out. Just try it out and see what happens. And it was the best decision that I've ever made, really, in my life, I think.
That is so beautiful, and this is exactly what I wanted to emphasize, that you allowed yourself to listen to your intuition, that you really and I think that is one of the wishes I have for your generation and for everyone younger too, that we get taught, or that we learn how to connect with this inner strong voice. Yeah, one thing I think, and one of my biggest mentors is Laura too. She is a total example for myself, and I think I wish that everyone would have this information to learn how to connect with your own inner voice. That is so powerful. Another thing I think, what I'm so fascinated about your own story is how you overcame as well the challenges in your life. As we listen to your story, we can see that it was all beautiful and everything perfect. No, and that's exactly how life is. But sometimes we don't, or we, how do you say it? It's like that we have an ideal vision of it, and understanding that all these challenging you were facing, from the divorce of your parents, but I think it's a very common topic right here, right now in society. Yeah, like a really, commune thing. Then another aspect is the challenge of leaving your personal comfort zone, facing an accident. Then the thing of not being recognized, or not being not getting the permission to enter in a university. And in Germany, in the public university, you need to have a certain limit. All these challenges are facing millions of people. Yeah, young people who lost faith after one or two challenges. What is your message to them? Yeah, to say when they are in one or the other situation in life, whether family or health or university, career-wise, what would you tell them?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think it is really important. I think we're living in this really fast-pacing world, and we think everything, has to be quick, and we have to get quick and a university degree. We have to quick get a job. We have to like quick, like fast. So I think first of all, it's actually taking a step back, slow down right now if you feeling like that. And if you actually maybe also in a place of maybe not aligned with what you're doing right now, especially with university. Like I have so many friends that actually don't enjoy what they're studying. So first of all, okay, don't punish yourself. Don't get into this emotion. Be gentle with yourself, really, and really, become aware first of all for yourself, and be really honest with yourself. Is that really what I want to do? Or has that maybe something to do with the expectations from my family, my friends, from society?
Totally.
So, and that's what I think, that's where I always could differentiate myself, is actually that I'm my own person.
Yeah, totally.
I have my own life. I have my own abilities, and nobody else can determine what's good for me and what's not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So if other people tell you to do this or whatever, no, don't listen to them, and really start listening to yourself first. And of course that might take time, and you have to be patient with yourself maybe at first, because you maybe never did that before in your life. You maybe never ever be alone with yourself in a way, because nobody wants to be alone nowadays. But actually there is a gift behind this as well, because we finding out who we truly are. And so, yeah, first of all, as I said, become aware of the situation you're in. That's where everything starts. And then, yeah, starting the questions really for yourself. The second one is, where do I hold myself back in my life? Where, in which life aspects I don't go 100% all in?
Yeah.
And why do I hold myself back? Just because maybe I'm afraid of what other people think of me, maybe of, you can't do this with an early age, blah, 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 blah. And, all these limited beliefs, and really start maybe also analyzing them and thinking about, where do they actually coming from? Are they maybe from my family, how I grew up, from my friends, my society, or maybe just a situation from my past which triggered, of course, my belief? So I actually stopped maybe dreaming at one point in my life because something happened. So we had a conclusion. No, we can't live our life like this, because that's not how life works. Life must be hard. You have to accomplish a lot of things, and you have to be an achievement hunter in a way. And
yeah. And
so
that is one thing you just said is very important, I think, especially in the growing up phase. And I mean, you passed it, or you passed the after college time, but I recognize it within myself. It's like the comparison. I mean, comparison never stops, but I want to put the emphasis on this. What do you think? Yeah, how did you manage to let go of expectations, or how did you manage to let go of what others tell you if you're too young for no? How did you manage this?
Well, I actually thought about, I thought about death, really, because that confronts you with what's really important for you and what really, really matters. So I was always a person, I mean, I'm quite a deep thinker, really, and I thought about, just imagine at the end of your life, and then you ask yourself, did I really do everything I wanted to do, or did I hold myself back somewhere? Did I didn't hold my truth because of someone? And then I was thinking, no, I don't want to live my life like that. So you actually have to imagine yourself like 100 years old, let's say. So you visualize yourself and you kind of maybe connect with this 100-year-old version of yourself, and you just ask them, you know, what are your learnings like? How can I maybe open myself up more to life and speak my truth more? And and the answer is just is like, you have to focus on what you truly want.
Yeah.
And you have to focus on your dreams, really. And to do that, you have to start connecting with yourself again, with your own true inner nature. As a woman, our own true feminine power, for example, we're like so powerful as a woman, but we actually never really how do you say, we never really try to maybe gain this power we actually have in our life. And so, to be honest, I think I always was a careless person in a way too, because I actually never really cared about what other people thought. And I don't know sometimes where this is coming from, but I just knew I'm not living for anyone else in this world. I'm living for myself.
That
I'm
is so powerful.
yeah, and
yeah,
that's like, the thing is, why do you want to look back at the end of your life and think about, oh, I just did this because to make this person feel better or whatever? Truly, no. Why didn't you live your purpose? Why didn't you live your life how you wanted? I just don't understand how you can just give up your own identity in a way, your own life, your own creativity, just for other people, really.
and this is exactly why I admire you so much for the decision you took, I think 2018, 2019, to do what you're doing now. And now you have to take us with you. What happened after quitting Condor flight attendant? What has changed, and where are you today? And why are you here right now?
So, let's start. So I did this self-improvement course from Laura Seiler. So that it took me about like 4 months. And in this course, I think I came to realize, okay, I just want to do my job till maybe September, and then I want to do something else. And the funny thing is that at some point there was this thought coming into my head, I want to do a yoga teacher training. And of course there were also a lot of thoughts which said, don't do this, you're not flexible enough, you're not good enough, and all that. But I was looking more into it, and I was like, no, I really want to do this. And I don't care if I'm flexible enough or not. I really want to do this. And so I decided to do this in September 2018, and I went to India for that. So I was quitting my job. I did the self-improvement course, which, first of all, I think expanded my awareness. I became more grateful and just more happier. And a lot of beautiful things came already into my life. But I think the next step was when I was in India. I did this yoga teacher course for 1 month, which was incredible. I think one of the best things I've ever did in my life. And I think I just came back to realize that, life is so much bigger than we think it is. It's so much more sometimes about really living in the moment, in the present moment, instead of always trying to achieve one thing after the other. So I was really coming back to myself through this yoga teacher training, and I was really grounding myself again. and really trusting in my abilities in my life. And so I think after that, I was a totally different person. I came back to Germany, and I was meeting up with my family, and I was just like, God, I can't take this anymore, because they were like complaining about a lot of things, and I was just like, that's too much. No, life is not like this, and that was really hard for me to come back to reality actually after that, because I was kind of living in a spiritual bubble for a month, I would say.
Yeah.
And you were creating this massive energy after 1 month, and then you kind of had to go back alone into this world on your own, and you had to figure out everything by yourself. And so after India, I went back to Germany just for a week, and then I went back. No, I flew to Canada to do work and travel there, and that was also a beautiful, beautiful journey. Canada is amazing, and I could feel that my awareness was really expanding again to a high level, my consciousness. And I think also becoming more aware of energies around me and so on. And then I was so kind of in tune with what I want, with what I want to create. And I always wanted to become a coach, really. I always thought, oh man, I kind of want to do the things Laura Seiler does, because it was so incredible for me, really. And I wanted to help people, because I knew how powerless you can feel when you actually, when you're not in your creation power, when you're not connected with yourself, really. So I was starting my own podcast in March 2019, and there was, oh my God, it was a big, big step for me. It was amazing. I was interviewing so many people, and I found out it's one of my biggest passions ever. And then I think through my podcast, I did some coaching with other coaches, and and they kind of opened myself up to the thought of, I can just be a coach without having a training. And I was like, is that really possible? No way. But actually, through the coaching I had with them, they kind of coached me to be a coach, I would say. So I was really like, oh my God, I think I can really do this with all this knowledge I have in me and all the things I learned in my life. And I really thought I really wanted to help people. And so, in September 2019, I published my website. Super crazy. And and then actually I think I went back to New Zealand with my partner, because my partner is from New Zealand. And and now I have a life coaching business, which I never thought I'm gonna have. And one of my visions is also to really heal others in a way, and really so they're finding their own power again. They're becoming the creators of their own lives, and we are quite aligned with our messages. So I really want that people recognize how beautiful and how powerful they truly are, and what's inside of them. So that's why I'm here now, and we were connecting last year in October together, and it's so beautiful what this spiritual and self-development journey just brings to you.
Totally. And one of the major things I'm really impressed by is that you're just doing the things. That's one thing. I mean, we can study and study and study, but in the end, and I'm totally, I think your experience as a yoga teacher, your experience throughout all the coaching courses you did are very valuable. And for me, the investment in personal development constantly is one of the most important investments ever. But nothing can, top the taking action. Nothing can really top it. And it's, I mean, I could get into another topic, but the time is coming slowly to the end, and I have 3 questions, and the first one you already started to answer is about what is your personal vision? Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? Where do you want to go to? What are your dreams? Maybe you can take us a bit into your future.
Yeah, sure. So I've been always a really big thinker and a big visionary. I always had big visions, even when I was really young. So I think one of my main visions is really to help this world to make a better place, and that's first of all through my coachings, so my one-on-one coachings, and I really want to expand that and really also want to build a community, and also an international community, really, because English connects us all. We can all speak English and understand English, or most of the people in the world. So I really want to kind of make this beautiful community with self-love and self-healing, and that's one of my main goals, that we start loving ourselves again, we're accepting ourselves again, and we're also accepting our emotions. And that's what I'm also talking a lot about anyway, in all my social media, and yeah, one of my goals is really to also build an organization to really spread the message with yoga and meditation, with self-improvement, and really, trying to make this world a better place. And instead of competing, more contributing, and more doing something together. And there are a lot of things that I want to create. I want to do retreats all over the world, and I want to give workshops, but also I want to be a speaker. So but I also know one step at a time, and you can't have everything.
No, it's so amazing. I mean, and I mean, for me, everything in context that you're just starting your life being 23. You're 23 now.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. Another question is, what are your personal values, Renate? What are you, how, on what do you base your values?
So my main value is to make a difference, and to be different in this world. So a part of me always wanted to be different, and don't do the things other people do. So I mean, that's you can see in my past, I didn't went to university, I did something else instead, and I went traveling a lot, and I did things although people told me that I can't do them, but I did them anyway. So definitely to make a difference. And also, it's definitely also based on compassion, love, and empathy, that you just recognize the beauty of another person inside of yourself, and that we are connected. We're all connected in a way. We're all humans, and we all struggle with the same stuff nowadays. So compassion, definitely. And I would just say love, and trust, and acceptance, and patience for each other. Yeah.
How beautiful, amazing. And my last question, Renate, is, I see that our life is like a book. Yeah, it's like a life book. And whether we write one, I think that would be awesome if we all would do at one point in our life. My question is, how would you title, or what could be the name of your life book?
Spread your wings and fly. I would say. I think, I don't know why, but this sentence followed me now a couple of years, and it was always inside of me. It was kind of just this image in my head that at first you just have really small wings, but then the more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you grow your wings, really. And once you start spreading your wings, you can fly, and you kind of take off to other universes and really try to make a bigger impact. And yeah,